Okay, let's get into picking your niche. So, how to decide on a lead generation niche. A couple of things that have helped me over the years when I was starting to pick out my niche. Um, I started in the web development, SEO, AdWords, client management model. And so I had started a local agency here in Orange County. And so I worked with many, many different niches, probably up to about 15. And even when I started my lead generation pay per lead avenue, I still started with a couple of different niches because I was kind of undecided. So, and because I worked with so many niches, I had a couple of different opportunities and understanding that I already had SEO clients or AdWords clients. And so it was easy for me to kind of excel in those certain niches. So one is worked with a niche before. If you have already, if you're already doing client management, whether offering SEO, Facebook advertising, or AdWords management, you kind of have a pretty basic understanding, or maybe a really good understanding if you have multiple clients and you kind of got into the nitty gritty of their niche. So clients you've helped before with their digital marketing needs, and then you have a basic understanding of their niche and sales cycle. This will dramatically help you be able to sell your first or your fifth client or your 10th client, and covering what we went over and niching down, and the importance and benefits of that. Working with a niche is you're going to have a pretty much basic understanding. So if you already have SEO clients in the HVAC, it's pretty easy for you to kind of start down this lead generation model with other HVAC clients. And you can even sell your SEO clients on lead generation by providing, if you're doing AdWords, or you can go and start your own website and provide other leads via long tail keywords that they're not ranking for. Or you can even overrank them. We've done that before as well. So getting into niches that you might want to learn about, that would be, small part of the puzzle of learning. There's a couple of different niches that maybe you have a dad or grandpa or uncle that you have some kind of basic knowledge about, and you're just kind of interested in learning about that certain niche, or you already have some knowledge based on you have a friend or family or any of that kind of stuff, and someone can sit there and explain a lot of that stuff to you, or you can ask certain questions too. So finding someone in that niche, whether they're on your Facebook, they're your friend, a friend of a friend, any of that stuff, and you've heard about it and you would want to learn that niche, that's another great way to start a niche and see if you'd want to go down on that one. And then the third one is kind of like what fits your marketing criteria. So one or two niches you get to know because they fit in a certain marketing criteria you think that you'd have some quick success in. So if you already have some, maybe you have one client in one niche and you got a client in another niche, but you understand kind of the basic needs of that niche and the sales cycle of how it works. And you think you'd have some quick success because you already understand that. I started off in the limo niche and with SEO clients maybe 6 years ago. And I understood that niche just from talking to the client over my very first client over and over. He was asking about SEO results and when you can expect them and all the good stuff that goes into the client management model, which I really didn't enjoy at that time. But everybody's got to start from somewhere. So going from that, I understood that, hey, I can really excel in this niche. And so I started my pay-per-lead in the limo niche. And that really was my route to quick success by knowing the ins and outs and the sales cycle of how the limo niche works. And it was easy for me to get pay-per-lead partners in that. So let's get into the marketing criteria for picking a niche. Stuff that I look for and that's really important to me is high profit margins. So clients that have high enough profit margins to be able to spend an adequate amount on advertising. So there are some niches out there where they don't have high profit margins. And so they don't understand that they need to spend a lot of advertising dollars. So if you are, finding clients on, Home Advisor or AdWords or Yellow Pages or all the different ways that I teach, you're looking for niches that you really could get into, that that they have a high enough profit margin to where you can charge a certain price per lead, and they're able to pay that because they have a sales system in play where they could close these leads and make great profit on that. So that's really big to me. Second one, again, is like to learn a niche. So you'd be interested in learning about that niche if you already don't know that. And really, you can, if you had a friend or family member or you could simply call up a company and say, hey, can I ask you a couple of questions, stuff like that. I really like to start in the AdWords route, where you go and get a AdWords client, and you do it for your $750, or you can even do it for $500. My very first client in AdWords, you start off at a low fee, and then you're pretty much getting paid to learn the niche, and learn the campaign and learn the landing page, and it's really awesome that way. So another big one is you get a hold of the owner. So some niches are just very damn hard to get a hold of the owner. I don't like to go for niches that takes a week to talk to the owner. They're just busy, or they just don't have their stuff together, and you just have a hard time getting a hold of them, or they're maybe out on the job or any of that stuff. So I like niches to where you can easily get a hold of the owner, decision maker. This will be able to help you scale quickly when you're doing sales yourself, or you have your sales guys. And no matter what, there's going to be a follow-up process into that. So not every owner is available, and you want people to kind of be somewhat busy, to where when you start providing leads, that they're able to already have a sales system in play to handle those leads. But I just look for niches that I can actually speak with the owner, and the owner understands everything. And we do work with bigger companies where they have CEOs and stuff like that. And you have to kind of go up that totem pole to get to that CEO. But I wouldn't recommend that, where you're attacking some B2B niches to where it takes, a long time to go up that totem pole and get to talk to that CEO. Start with the niches to where you can, maybe talk to the gatekeeper first, and then you could speak with the owner, or the owner picks up the phone himself, stuff like that. So where you're getting that decision maker or owner on the phone, this way you can get the decision right away. Are you interested in my services or not? And this will help you scale very quickly with this. So another one is plenty of prospects. So I really look for niches that there's just a ton of businesses out there. So take for dentists example, there's dentists on every single corner that you turn. So that's why it's a popular niche, is there's just so many opportunities. And just because a niche is saturated doesn't mean you can't go in it. I can tell you I'm not in the dental niche, but I can tell you there's probably about 8 dental offices in a 5-mile radius from me. And I have looked at their websites. I thought about the dental niche maybe about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, when I started the Paper Lead. And it wasn't a niche that I wanted to kind of dive down in, just because I don't have a lot of experience in it. I didn't have any other clients in it. And it was kind of just a whim. Family wise, I had it, and I could have asked questions, but it just didn't want to go down. But I can tell you, I've looked around in the 8 dental offices around here, and probably only about 4 of them or 5 of them, that, didn't have any marketing services. They didn't have any Google AdWords. They weren't doing Facebook retargeting or ads or any of that kind of stuff. And they weren't even that high ranked as well. So there's just so many opportunities in so many different niches. HVACs and roofing is very, very popular. I have clients in both. So yeah, don't be afraid of that. But I also love plenty of prospects. So I am able to get, if there's, 50 different HVAC companies in the Orange County area, I'm able to go after and just get one of them, because all I need is one to make profit of $2,500, $3,500 a month. So I'm happy with that. And you can scale that on multiple different areas all around the United States or in your own country. So that is great. Search volume. So I like to go for niches that have higher search volume. Some people prefer the very high end, like solar or water damage restoration, where there's, just very little search volume, but high end leads. So they make high profit. I think if you're starting out, you want to be able to provide leads very quickly. It kind of like creates that no doubt in your mind that you're able to provide leads. If there's search volume and there's people searching, you should be able to provide leads via AdWords very quickly. It just makes you more confident starting out. You can always get into other niches that have less search volume, less leads coming in, but maybe you get paid more on those leads. But just starting out, highly recommend that just going to niches that have search volume and that you can really get into, be able to provide leads within 72 hours because their search volume. It just gives you that trust and really makes you confident to be able to scale into that niche quickly. So hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next module.